Imagine a town, a place where time stands still, where every day is a repeat of the one before. A hamlet seemingly lost in the annals of time, nestled between the arms of a forgotten valley. Its cobblestone streets winding like the tendrils of a sleeping vine, houses draped in an eternal shroud of silence, their windows staring out into the void like vacant eyes. This is a place where the sun rises and sets with a clockwork precision, where the seasons change as if turning the pages of an old, dusty book. But look closer, and you'll see the oddities that make this town unique. The town clock that chimes 13 times at midnight, the street lamps that flicker with an ethereal glow, the shadows that seem to move on their own accord. The town's inhabitants, too, are a part of its peculiar charm. They go about their daily routines with an eerie predictability, oblivious to the world outside their time-forgotten bubble. The baker kneads his dough as the rooster crows, the blacksmith's hammer strikes the anvil as the church bell tolls. The children play in the streets as the sun begins its descent. They are characters in a play, and the town is their unchanging stage. Yet, there's an undercurrent of unease that permeates the air, a sense of foreboding that clings to the town like a persistent fog. The feeling of being watched, of unseen eyes following your every move, whispers of a tragic event that the town is doomed to relive over and over again. But those are just stories, folk tales passed down through generations, aren't they? And so begins another day in this town, a day that has happened countless times before and will happen countless times again. As the sun rises, the town wakes up, unaware that they are trapped in an endless cycle. A cycle so precise, so exact that it could be mistaken for a perfectly tuned clock. The eerie rhythm of this time loop is as captivating as it is chilling. Now imagine a town where every day is a carbon copy of the one that came before. The rooster crows at the same split second every morning. The milkman makes his rounds, each bottle clinking onto the doorstep at the exact same moment as yesterday. The school bell rings, and children's laughter echoes through the air, just as it did the day before, and the day before that, and every single day stretching back into a past that no one can remember. In this strange, suspended reality, the townfolk live their lives in a series of repeated moments. The barista at the local cafe pours coffee into cups with a mechanical precision that is both remarkable and eerie. The postman delivers mail, every letter falling into its slot at the same exact time, day in and day out. The butcher, the baker, the candlestick maker, all of them locked in their routines, moving through the same motions with the same timing, day after day. Yet there is no awareness, no realization of the time loop among the townfolk. They wake up, they live their day, they go to sleep, only to repeat the same actions when they rise again. As if they are characters in a play, they perform their parts without the knowledge that they are trapped in a script from which they cannot deviate. In this town, every second, every minute, every hour is a mirror of the last, a haunting echo of time that refuses to move forward. This is a place where the cycle of day and night is a chilling waltz that never ends, a dance of sunlight and shadows that repeats with uncanny precision. And as the sun sets, the day ends only to begin again. A night falls, a rooster crows, and the cycle starts anew, a chilling reminder of the town's timeless loop. But this was not always the case. There was a time before the loop started, a time when life was normal. The town was nothing short of idyllic, a picturesque spot that was the epitome of small-town charm. People went about their daily lives, oblivious of the impending doom that was about to befall them. On the fateful day, the sun rose like any other day, but there was an unspoken heaviness in the air. The town was buzzing with excitement for the annual Harvest Festival. Laughter echoed through the streets, children ran around, and the aroma of home-cooked meals filled the air. The stage was set for a joyous celebration. As the day progressed, the festivities reached their peak. That's when it happened. A sudden, bone-chilling wail echoed through the town. It was the old mine. The heart of the town, the source of its prosperity, had turned into its nemesis. An explosion. The ground trembled, buildings shook, and a cloud of thick, choking dust engulfed the town. In the midst of the chaos, the town's clock tower, the pride of the community, came crashing down. The booming sound of its fall was drowned by the horrified screams of the townsfolk. Time, quite literally, came to a standstill. As the dust settled, the magnitude of the calamity became clear. Lives were lost, families torn apart, and the town was reduced to rubble. The tragedy was not just the physical destruction, but the emotional toll it took on the survivors. The once lively town was now a ghost of its former self, filled with sorrow and despair. And then, as the sun set, something strange happened. The day reset. It was morning again, the same festival preparations were underway, and the clock tower stood tall and proud. The town was caught in a cruel twist of fate, forced to relive the horrific day over and over again. The joy of the festival turned into dread, the laughter into screams, and the aroma of meals into the stench of dust and debris. And with that, the town was trapped, destined to relive this day forever. But in this unending cycle, there are clues, hints at what might break the loop. As the town is trapped in a perpetual recurrence of the same tragic day, these fragments of hope, however faint, become the beacon of light amidst the all-consuming darkness. Imagine a clock, its hands frozen in time, suddenly ticking forward by a single second, or a flower, previously wilted and lifeless, blooming vibrantly despite the harsh winter. These anomalies, seemingly insignificant on their own, together form a tapestry of clues that suggest a potential escape from the relentless time loop. Take, for instance, the town's ancient well. Each day, at precisely noon, a mysterious echo resonates from its depths. A song, perhaps, or a cryptic message. No one can be certain. Yet, this oddity only occurs on days when the town's bell tower chimes 13 times instead of 12 at midday. Then there's the peculiar case of the town's library. Every day, a single page from a different book goes missing. It's as if an unseen hand is trying to communicate through literature, leaving a breadcrumb trail of literary quotes and references. And let's not forget the strange behavior of the town's wildlife. Birds abruptly changing their flight patterns, dogs howling at unseen threats, and cats staring intently at something only they can see. Could they be reacting to a disturbance in the fabric of time? These anomalies, these subtle shifts in the routine, suggest a crack in the time loop's otherwise impenetrable armor. They hint at a potential escape, a chance for the town to finally break free from its eternal prison. They offer a glimmer of hope, a promise of salvation, in a world where tomorrow never comes. Yet the question remains, how can the town's inhabitants use these clues to their advantage? How can they decipher the hidden messages, unravel the intricate patterns, and finally put an end to the unending cycle of tragedy? These clues, these anomalies, could they be the key to breaking the cycle? Only time, or perhaps the lack thereof, will tell. But what does it mean to be stuck in a time loop? What are the implications of this chilling phenomenon? Imagine waking up each day only to relive the same 24 hours over and over again, the same conversations, the same meals, the same heart-wrenching tragedy. This is the reality for the citizens of this town who are trapped in a time loop, doomed to repeat a day of horror endlessly. The philosophical implications of this are staggering. Our lives as we know them are defined by the passage of time, by growth and change. We learn from our mistakes, we grow older, we build futures. But what happens when time stands still? When the future is the same as the past and the past is the future? When every action is futile, every decision meaningless because it will be undone the next day? The psychological ramifications are equally horrifying. The human mind is not built to withstand such stagnation. We crave progress, development, the ability to move forward. Imagine the frustration of being unable to change the past, no matter how hard you try, or the despair of knowing you cannot influence the future, no matter how much you yearn for it. And then there's the horror of knowing that every day, the same tragedy will unfold, and there's nothing you can do to prevent it. The horror of watching the people you care about suffer over and over again, their pain as fresh and raw each time as it was the first. The dread of waking up each day, knowing what's to come but being powerless to stop it. It's a chilling thought, isn't it? A town where time doesn't march on, where progress is an illusion and the future is a mirage. A place where the only certainty is the relentless repetition of the same tragic day. In this town, time is not a river flowing forward, but a whirlpool, spinning endlessly around the same point.